I'm Rocky Balboa.
Petro.
Hey guys, and welcome to Really Bad F1. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be a negative video, I guess. Because as great as the Grand Prix was during the weekend, we do have to discuss it is kind of outdated. Because, I don't know if all of you are here, but I guess some of you have. Behind the scenes of Canada was an absolute crapshoot.
It was absolutely everywhere. There was lots of complaints going on all over social media. You've probably seen it all throughout the news. It is just one of those issues. Obviously, you know, we have hit issues time to time, but I don't think on this scale, with this amount of issues all going on at the same time. You know, we've had people coming onto the tracks. We've had people in the pit lane, if you remember, rock on Azerbaijan last year. You know,
oh dear.
But we've never had it to this scale where the FIA has actually reached out to the company running it all and said, we're going to fine you. Obviously they haven't, because it's the FIA. But
they've given them a slap on the wrist, said if they do it again, they're going to fine them.
I'd say it's probably a little bit more than a slap on the wrist. They've probably done it with the ruler. But it doesn't look good for them if they do it again. Yeah, we had people storming the track at the end of the race.
The quote was, it was a security breach. That's what they're calling it. We haven't had that issue in a while.
Yeah.
And it's shocking that people were on the track. They weren't on the track during racing speed. People were let onto the track during the cool-down laps. Yeah. Still at that speed. One of those cars hits a fan, or multiple fans in this case. That's a disaster.
Major issues. Yeah, that would lead to major issues. Obviously, people hurt, possibly, you know, more than hurt, and that would be massive tragedy, massive loss. But obviously, that's the end of the race. We had issues before FP1. We had issues FP2 as well. Yeah. Josh, do you want to go into that one a little bit more?
Yeah. So I've found this all out by an amazing YouTube channel called Kim Illman.
Yeah.
He's a photographer for the F1. He travels all around the world photographing the F1 at the tracks. And he was there on the Friday. And apparently, a lot of fans didn't make it to the track because STM, the one who runs transport going to the track and just throughout the whole Montreal, was telling a lot of the fans on the way to the track that Friday had been cancelled. Wasn't just STM, I will clarify, police were saying this as well. So, a lot of fans didn't even make it to the track on Friday. And I don't know if they've received a refund or any sort of apology, but that's a disgrace. I mean, I know it's just probably a case of miscommunication.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're spending hundreds of dollars on a ticket, even for Friday, it's unacceptable. It really
exactly.
Is.
You know, there was a lot of the weather issues. Obviously, we'd seen the hail that was on track. You know, we all saw the wet weather, the rain as well.
Yeah.
We know there was major issues with all of that, and obviously that could have caused some form of issues. But clearly, the communication between STM, the organisers of the race itself, and the FIA clearly just were not in sync, and that was something that put a dampener on a lot of fans' experiences. Obviously, some of them still had a good time. You know, I'd seen a few cases of people where they were like, oh, you know, I had a great time at the track, got to see the race, got to see all FP1 through to the race and whatnot. But obviously, it doesn't help when there's also fans that aren't enjoying the experience. They want safety, they want security, you know, they want to be able to go and watch a race, a sport that they love, and they're getting turned away before they even get there when it hadn't been cancelled. Not at the time, anyway.
I know you can never have 100% happiness. It's not possible. But the odds of people they let down that day is a lot higher than they should have. A lot higher.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and this is why we were at the beginning of the video, and the title of the video is, you know, about, is it outdated? It's an old track. It's been around since the 70s. I want to say it was 1974. 1976.
It's around that. There you go.
Yeah, around there. Thanks. You know, and it's been on the calendar for many a year now, which is great. It's fantastic. You know, having older tracks like Silverstone as well. You know, like obviously old tracks, Monaco. You know, having them there is great. It's fantastic for the sport. You know, recognizing these tracks that have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
However, they need updating. They need looking after. You know, Silverstone wouldn't still be on the calendar if it had, you know, started falling apart and people were, you know, getting soaked in rain from the stands or whatever. You know, like people wouldn't want to be going to that. And you'd see that. You know, you'd see a downward trend on fans turning up to go and watch, which Montreal just had its record attendance. You know,
Just over 350,000 people went this year.
Yeah, yeah, it was a record attendance. It was a record watch as well, and that's fantastic. That's great for the sport that so many people were interested in watching.
Yeah.
However, on the flip side, when you've got a track that's getting old, it's starting to go past its prime, you need to do things to be able to renovate that, to be able to make it safer for fans, to be able to improve the viewing experience, and just not just that itself, but also the experience of the whole day. You know, the whole few days from FP1 all the way through to the end of the race. You need to be able to ensure that fans don't break through, that they've got the ability to actually watch, because we did see some footage of this sort of black tarp stuff being put across the railings, which, you know, maybe for like very early doors, you know, before anything started, great. But when it was being put up just before it was due to start, is just it's ridiculous.
This is my issue with that one. So throughout FP1, FP2 qualifying, and if there was any support races, that tarp was not there. So throughout the whole weekend, people that were going to that track, like, yes, we know where we can stand for most of the weekend or all weekend. This way we're going to watch the race probably.
Yeah.
1 hour before the race starts, no, black tarp, not watching the race now. I would understand if they had done it from Friday. Everyone knows the rules. Okay, no issue, we'll find somewhere else.
Yeah, it makes sense,
But the fact they did it with 1 hour before the race, I mean, it's a joke.
It is, you know, and these weren't people that had paid like thousands and thousands of pounds. These were general admission tickets. People that have probably scrapped together money to be able to go and watch an F1 race, whether that was on home turf or have travelled from wherever and gone, right, all I can afford is get the cheapest, the cheaper tickets, because I want to go and support my team. I want to go and watch the sport that I love. And, you know, they're not able to watch the race. How is that fair? You know, it's the fans that make it. The people that you see all over Twitter that go, I love Lando Norris, I love Logan Sargent, etc. You know, I'm such a big Ferrari fan. Those are the people that make the sport, and screwing them over is just not the way to go. That's unfair. That is just downright wrong.
In a fan base, you can only afford those gentlemen's tickets.
Yep.
If we were to go to the race, that's what we began.
Yeah.
So, the majority of fans, and the fact that you went, nah. But it's not only that, it's that the facilities are also, from what I've seen, I'll put quotes here, I'll put them up on the screen. The place is effectively breaking down. There's leaks coming from all the roofs of the facilities there. There's a quote of where the commentary booth was having leaks. There was damage to the equipment in the commentary booth.
Yeah.
The place is falling apart from the sounds of it. And I'm not at the track. I wasn't up there. For all I know, it's in spectacular condition. But when Martin Brundle is quoting things that are going wrong with it and said it's the worst experience he's had all year,
you know something's up.
Yeah. Like, he's had interviews at Planet F1, I quote them, the Daily Mirror, there's quite a few. He's not an outlier. There's quite a few people saying it.
Which, you know, if someone that big is shouting about it, obviously, you know, it's clearly something is wrong. And as fans of the sport, as people that, you know, me and Josh will probably want to go to Canada one day, you know, we don't want to have to be dealing with that. You know, outside of F1, if we look towards Man United and their stadium, you know, have a look at it on the news. That, you know, that leaks. It basically turns into a waterfall. It's got a running joke now. The fact that it's, you know, the most like northern waterfall in England or whatever. You know, like it's just one of those. But fans have outcried about it. They're, protesting about the fact that there's failing standards within that stadium. And, hopefully things are going to be sorted out about it with their new owners, and that's what we, not so we, but that's what needs to be done about Montreal is people need to put their foot down. It's all great that the FIA, whoever is earning money off of it. When the fans' experience is starting to be, destroyed like that, it needs to be done. You can't be standing around. I've seen reports of it as well, of people standing around on a bridge just to be told that they need to turn around and go away. That was also Kim Illman. He also said there were people on the bridge standing there. They got told they needed to be turned around. They were at Montreal. They were at the race and got told, you can't come in. It's stopped. We're sending you home. That's where, it's not saying an uprising needs to start, but people need to be vocal, shout out to whoever it is that is in charge of Montreal and be like, look, you need to do better. We're holding you to higher standards. They're charging this much for tickets. They're charging hundreds of pounds to be able to go and watch the F1. We should be able to experience it. It's not even just that. It's people that travel. We've got hotels, food costs, transport links, food when they're in the place, water, whatever it is that they may need. They should be able to go spend all that money, that savings that they would have taken and go and actually enjoy the race.
Look, see, this isn't the only track that's happened to in recent years, but it's the most recent one. We've seen it happen at Spa, we've seen it happen at Monza as well. From what we've heard in the last few years, that most of the issues have been alleviated. Hopefully the turnaround can happen in Montreal as well. Yeah. But the one issue Montreal has that those two tracks didn't is the space. It's on a tiny island. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I think it's Octane Sports Racing or Sports Group who've run it have said, is the space is the big issue with it. Fair enough, space, people can be a bit tight on that. If there's issue with space, maybe that's just one thing that has to deal with the tightness, but breaking down facilities is not an excuse for that one. No. And when Stefano Domenicali has came out and apologised himself for how it was run, it means it's an issue.
Just immediately screams issue, doesn't it? Yeah. They need to sort it out, and hopefully, next year it'll be a lot better. Obviously, it doesn't excuse what has happened. Obviously an apology is one thing. Some form of refund or something probably would have been a little bit better as well for those people that actually did miss out, that got told, you can't come. We're not running FP1, FP2. You need to go home. Those people should then get some form of rebate, some form of refund, and an apology for being turned away. But unfortunately, with these mega corporations and whatnot, an apology is all they're probably going to give.
Let's hope this isn't a Spa situation where we had the safety car do 3 laps and no one got a refund. Let's hope it's not that sort of situation. But
fingers crossed.
More time will tell, so you never know. Maybe by the time we finish recording this video, there's something out there saying, here's a refund, here's that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Only time will tell, unfortunately.
But, minor upsides, obviously, through the bad experiences. The race on Sunday ended up being a decent one. Probably the best of the season so far. I say probably is the best of the season so far. That's it.
Yeah.
We just wanted to say our piece on it, talk about it. I got to have a rant for once, so yeah. And we will see you in the next one. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye. No way.